Hi, everyone. We are popping in today. When I say we, you might be going, it's just you. I mean, I'm popping in, my spirit guides are popping in. So we collectively, and if you're here, I'm so glad that you are. We're popping in today to talk about 7 unconscious ways that we block intuition and abundance. And if you're not here, but you're watching the replay, just know that the message that you need to hear is for you whenever you see this. So it's okay if you weren't here live, knowing that spirit orchestrates divine timing of when you need to hear things. Now, if you are here live, I would love to know, but I wanted to come in, talk about some of the things that we kind of store in the back burner, some of the things that we don't really think about, right? Like our brain is awakened when we are not sleeping, but is yet still sleeping on certain things. Like it's generally like what's right in front of us is what we're going to pay attention to. And so I wanted to talk about some of the unconscious ways we actually block our intuition and we block our abundance as well. So for one, the first one that I wanted to talk about is don't want the message. Like you say you want it, but you really don't. And usually this is unconscious. So I used to have clients come over to me and say, hey, I really, really want this. I really want a relationship, or, I really want to know why I'm not having the right relationship, or I really want to know if my spouse and I are going to continue to make it, or as far as in business, am I going to change jobs? Am I going to do X, Y, Z in my business? And then what happens is they really unconsciously don't want to know the message because it might not be exactly what their ego wants to hear. So this is one way that we can block it, because we're like, and my world doesn't want to be rocked, or I don't want to change. I'm comfortable doing what I want to. So for me, this happened in my life recently, actually, and I knew I was blocking it on purpose. But my senior dachshund, he's 18 years old, and I know that, he's coming to the end of his physical life. And so my spirit guides were kind of like prepping me on that. And I was like, don't want to know, don't want to hear it. No, I'm not ready for that, or I don't want to. So that's one like day-to-day kind of thing that can happen. But it's the same with big life changes, relationship, especially career. So you're spiritual and ambitious, right? If you're here watching this is who I work with. If you're brand new to me, I'm Whitney McNeill. I'm a certified medium and spiritual mentor who works with spiritual and ambitious people that know they can live their life purposely, abundantly. Even if you don't know what it is, that's okay. I help you get there. It's like, I want to do this. And so you're ambitious and you're like, why would I ever block abundance? Why would I ever block intuition if I know that if I follow my intuition, that my life can be so much more easier and I can have this abundance? It's because sometimes we don't truly want to make the change. We say we want to make the change, our ego says it, but we truly don't want to have to go through the things. Also, as far as why would you block abundance? Well, it could mean taking more risks, right? Your intuition's telling you got to take a little bit more steps into the uncomfortable, getting out of your comfort zone. And you're like, but I'm safe, I'm good here. Why can't I just have more abundance with what I'm doing? And so one of the reasons that we can block it is because of fear. There's many others, but generally speaking, we might not want the message because we don't want to make the change. Number 2, feeling not good enough, not important, right? So sometimes we feel like, this intuition stuff is not that important. Like it just comes when it needs to come. Or we think, abundance, especially when we think financial abundance, spiritual people sometimes go, oh, money's not that important, so I'm not even going to put that out there. While it's true, if you're spiritual and ambitious, that you desire to help people, you want to make an impact, that service is like your heart singing, right? Especially if you want to create a heart-centered business, that's singing to you. That's like what you want. But also, money is energy. And so it's like, how are you treating your relationship with money, right? That's really important to know. How am I treating that? And why would I put myself in a place where I'm not feeling good enough or undeserving to live the life of my dreams in abundance and have so much abundance that I'm able to then also share it with others? And so understanding that you are deserving, you are good enough. There's not like one thing you're missing. It's like, wait a minute, I get to decide that I am good enough, that I do I can do this. Wait a minute, that I am deserving of it. So that's one unconscious thing that we have floating around that we usually don't understand until we bring it to the surface. Another one is feeling some sort of resistance to abundance and intuition based on childhood. So a lot of times we're conditioned from society or from our caregivers or maybe the friends we hung out with, whatever it is, that maybe we think people that focus on money are selfish, or maybe we think abundance just automatically equals money, and that's wrong. By the way, abundance can be spiritual and financial. There's nothing wrong with either. Let's have a whole great serving of both, right? But understanding that there might be some old patterning, like connecting to your intuition is bad. You can't do that, or feeling like you can't have money because then you'll be the person in your group that people go, ooh, this person has money and that's all they care about. Whatever it is, that's kind of our own stuff that we need to get rid of. And it's our own and it's our old. And then when we really realize what our old stories are, we might say, well, that is actually not my own. That is my parents, or that's the people that I grew up around, or whatever it is. So having some old blockages that exist from a long time ago, and that's not really your true story. Also, thinking that it has to come in a certain way. This is a big one. It's like an unconscious thing. So you might see movies or TV shows where, mediums are connecting in and feeling like, I totally don't see spirit like that. Like I don't have it. Maybe I just have a little bit of sprinkle of it, a little dusting of the intuition, or, I have some luck because sometimes I've been lucky in life. Understanding that it doesn't come in the same way for everyone, and you don't have to see spirit or see messages in order to actually receive divine communication from your higher self, from your spirit guides, from the universe. You have it. It just comes in a different way. So that's a big one, is thinking it only comes in a certain way. And of course, like, you can actually develop more understanding about how it comes in specifically for you. And if you haven't taken my quiz yet, I hope you do. It's messengerspirit.com/quiz to find your intuitive language. So understanding and developing and honing that a little bit more will be really, really helpful. Also thinking that abundance has to come in a certain way. Sometimes we think it's only going to come in through my job. It's only going to come in through my spouse, or it has to be a lotto ticket, to come in. When we think it only comes in a certain way, whether it's intuition or abundance, we restrict, we limit our ability to receive, which brings me to the next one, which is having trouble receiving, which is a big one. So you're blocking receiving. So a lot of times we block receiving based on not feeling like we can't take on anymore, or feeling like it's bad to receive, I just must give. And as you being a spiritual, ambitious soul, that ambitious part of it kind of kicks in the I'm a giver, I'm going to do, I'm going to spend more energy. The spiritual part of you is also probably like giving, but understanding that there's a balance. There's actually a universal law called the law of balance, and you actually need to balance and receive and let things move back and forth. If you think of the infinity sign, right? It's like receive and give, receive and give. I don't think we can sit there all day long and receive and never give. And I don't think you can give and never receive. What I tend to see with spiritual ambitious people is that they give more than they receive, and we have to bring that more into balance. Another unconscious way that you can block intuition abundance is feeling overloaded and not being in the flow. So it's like, I have taken on too much. I have said yes to everything. I am dealing with my job and now my family and whatever is going on in your schedule or your world. There are things that pop up that is called life. Sometimes people inside of my Intuition Abundance Academy, the first thing they say is, oh my gosh, I started connecting to my spirit guides and now I've got all these other things going on. What's wrong? Did I do something wrong? And I say, no, this is your life shifting and life happens. And thank God you came into Intuition Abundance Academy so that you can work with your spirit guides and make your life easier, because this would have happened whether you did or you didn't. So life does happen. It's just a matter of what's our perspective. Are we on top of the mountain looking down and going, oh yeah, that's happening to my life. And yes, it's a little bit of a speed bump. Or are we like in the wave going, oh my gosh, I can't like get out of this wave. It's crashing down around me. So where are we, right? And so with your spiritual development, it's okay, where's our vibration level? What perspective are we able to see? So feeling overloaded tends to put us in the wave where we're like, I can't see anything, or like the lost in the forest. I can't see anything because the trees are all around. Versus I'm outside or I'm on top of the mountain and I can see what's going on. So starting to create more space in your life is really helpful. Starting to move things away like that really don't light you up, and starting to bring some of the things that you know that you probably would have said yes to if not for a million things. So it's like a shift in priorities that have to happen. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But another thing is thinking you have to do more. A lot of times we're like, oh, now I have to work on my intuition. Ugh, there's no way I'm going to have time for that. Or now I have to like do more to receive abundance. When you start understanding and you're being in the flow that you don't have to do more, you can receive, and that maybe you've got this old story where it's like hard work, equals more abundance. Understanding that the universe can give you that abundance and that you don't have to do the strenuous work to get the reward. And so understanding that it's just alignment and being in the flow. And so you don't have to do more. And in fact, when I teach my students how to really connect to their intuition, I'm going to encourage you to do less. So when students come in, they're like, where's the message? Where's that intuitive message? And I'm going, hey, let's relax and remember that spirit brings the message to you. You don't go out to find it. It's actually a really natural, easy process. We have just complicated it and overcomplicated it because life happens. And so there's a lack of education, which is, of course, why that I love to help you claim your intuitive gifts. Oh, another thing is thinking that you don't have the ability, right? So that's a big one, thinking that you don't have the ability and understanding that you truly do. Like you truly do have the ability. It just comes in a different way. So one of the big questions that I get, especially on podcast interviews or connecting with people who just meet me, they're like, so what do you think, Whitney? I mean, certain people are more apt to intuition than others, right? Like it's a gift, right? I will say gifts because I understand that I like to treat our abilities as this beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing. But everybody gets them. It's kind of like Oprah, right? You get it. You get this gift and you get this gift and you get it too. That the way that it's personalized to you is different. So it's like the packaging is different. You get a purple one, you get a green one, you get a red one, whatever it is. It's different. So just because I see doesn't mean that, you're not getting any messages because you don't see. You probably get your messages through being a channel, being a feeler, maybe hearing messages or a different way. And so every single person on the planet has the ability to develop their intuition. Some of us are just born a little bit more sensitive than others. That doesn't mean that you cannot develop your sensitivity. So think about like the child prodigies, right? They're like, I'm this artist or I'm this scientist, and I kind of come out of the womb like ready to do this mission. I think that sometimes people think that's what it looks like to be intuitive. I'm just coming out and like I can talk to spirit and that's what it is. Well, if you are really desiring to be an artist, you can actually grow your artistic skills, and your paintings are not going to look the same as somebody else's, but you can still grow your skills and understand how it comes in for you. So it's desire, it's excitement. So anyway, thinking that it has to come in a certain way, and then you kind of fluff it off and it goes to the back burner. So my thoughts for today, I wanted to tell you those 7 unconscious ways that we block our intuition and abundance. But I also wanted to talk about, what if you were to recognize the importance of your intuition? And if you recognize that when you connect to your intuition, things become easier. Things start to shift and change in your life so that it can create more space for you. So you don't have to work as hard, so that you don't have to be on all the time, and so that you don't have to feel like you are really like grinding or hustling or doing the things to get there. What if you just said, I am going to make it a priority to have my relationship with my intuition and my spirit guides be like a thing that I'm going to do every day. And I know that when I do this thing every day and I'm flexing my muscles, I'm honing my skill sets, that I know that that is so important because it will be the number one asset that I use to make decisions in the rest of my life. And I understand that if I put that first, then these other things become easier. I get to go to the top of the mountain and see things from a higher perspective. I get to create different things in my life so that I can find more joy and happiness, so that I can help others in abundance. I'll have more energy as well. So that's what I want to leave you with today, and really understanding, where has your intuition been, right? And understanding that when we come into this alignment with our intuition, we start to understand it. And when we put that first, it's like, oh, I put the oxygen mask on myself so I can help other people. And now my life is easier because I'm connected with what's a priority, what's not a priority, with where I need to be spending my energy and what's okay to let fall away. So those are my thoughts today. And if you have not taken my 4 Intuitive Language quiz, I'd love for you to, especially if you're brand new to me. Just go to messengerspirit.com/quiz, and I will send you a personalized video with some emails about some free gifts that I have as well. And it will help you understand more of the primary way that you specifically are receiving your messages. So hi to everyone that's joined us live. So very good to see you. And for those of you who are watching the replay, I'd love for you to comment #replay. All right. I will see you all later, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye.